Greetings adventurers, Matsume here. In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about crafting bags in New World. This video will be broken up into two parts. In the first half, we will take a look at bags, how they work, and how to make them. In the second half, we will go over the results of 100 595 to 600 gear score crafts with respect to gear score and perk distribution. Bags, or adventurer's satchels, are crafted items made by the armoring profession that increase your character's weight limit. You can equip bags by dragging them into your character's bag slots from the inventory menu. The first bag slot is unlocked at level 10, the second at level 30, and the third at level 45. The main purpose of bags is to allow you to carry more weight, by increasing your allowable encumbrance. In New World, encumbrance is your character's weight limit. While carrying less than your weight limit, you will be able to move freely. When carrying too much in your inventory, you will become encumbered, and you won't be able to dodge, run, or jump. In addition to this, crafted bags can roll a number of useful perks from a bucket of bag-specific perks. There are 4 tiers of bags, starting with Tier 2 and ending with Tier 5. Tier 2 bags generally range between 2 to 300 gear score and can have up to 1 perk. Tier 3 bags generally range between 3 to 400 gear score and can have up to 2 perks. Tier 4 bags can range between 4 to 500 gear score and can have up to 3 perks. And finally, Tier 5 bags can be crafted all the way up to 600 gear score. Tier 5 bags crafted up to 599 gear score can have a maximum of 4 perks, while only 600 gear score bags are given a special 5th perk, making them legendary. Before moving on, I'd like to take a minute to explain the relationship between gear score, perks, and rarity in New World. Gear score determines the effectiveness of an item's perks. For example, a 510 gear score bag grants 306 encumbrance and 2.4% luck from the Luck Perk, while a 600 gear score bag grants 360 encumbrance and 2.8% luck from the Luck Perk. Meanwhile, the amount of perks an item can have is determined by its tier. Tier 2 bags can have up to 1 perk, while Tier 5 bags can have up to 5 perks. But those perks are not guaranteed. When crafting bags, each perk slot has a chance to land a roll, and if you fail the roll, you don't get a perk. However, you can force the success of perks landing from the crafting menu by using Azoth. You should always use the maximum amount of Azoth allowable when crafting to guarantee every perk. Otherwise, you may end up crafting a non-legendary 600 gear score item. Finally, an item's rarity, or color, is determined by the number of perks that item has. Bags with no perks are common, or white. Bags with 1 or 2 perks are uncommon, or green. Bags with 3 perks are rare, or blue. Bags with 4 perks are epic, or purple. And finally, bags with 5 perks are legendary. But only a 600 gear score bag can have 5 perks, and that 5th perk will always be lasting consumption. In order to craft bags, you will need 4 materials. A rune of holding of the tier of bag you intend to craft. Runes of holding can be obtained from a faction vendor or purchased from the auction house. 45 leather of the tier of bag you are crafting. 25 cloth of any tier, and 10 metal of any tier. While you can use lower tier cloth and metal to craft bags, this will result in a lower gear score item. In New World, the gear score range in which you can craft is in part determined by the tier and type of materials you are using. Crafting with higher tier and rarer materials will allow you to craft higher gear score items. If your goal is to craft legendary bags, you will need level 200 armoring, legendary materials, 3 major armoring crafting trophies, spicy cabbage soup, the armor mastery perk from an earring, a full set of armor's crafting gear, and the armorer's inspiration territory buff in a town you own a home in. This will allow you to craft in the 595 to 600 gear score range. Crafting in this range results in 6 possible outcomes: 595, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 600. Assuming an equal probability for each result, we can expect to craft on average 1 gear score 600 bag for every 6 attempts, or 16.67% of the time. So what I've done is crafted 100 595 to 600 gear score bags and kept track of every result with respect to gear score. Let's take a look at the results. Of the 100 attempts at crafting 595 to 600 gear score bags, I managed to make a total of 15 legendary bags, which is less than 2% shy of expectations. I would, however, like to point out that these bags were crafted in 3 separate sessions. In my first batch of crafts, I only made 3 legendary bags out of 30 attempts, while in my second batch of crafts, I made a total of 7 out of 30 attempts. Finally, in my final batch of crafts, I made 5 legendary bags out of 40 attempts. So while the final result of 100 crafts comes close to our 16.67% expected value, you should expect to see some amount of variance when crafting in small batches. If you're thinking about crafting legendary bags, you are probably also wondering, what is the best perk modifier to use for the best results? To answer that question, let's take a look at New World Database. There are a total of 14 different bag perks that can appear on bags. Extra Pockets, Azoth, Loyalty, Plentiful Ammo, Luck, and 9 different Burden perks. Lasting Consumption is a special perk that is automatically assigned to any bag that rolls 600 gear score. What's important to note is that there are only 6 perk labels, and all of the Burden perks share the same perk label. In New World, crafted items cannot roll 2 perks that share the same label. In other words, you cannot craft a bag with 2 Burden perks. You should also note the chance column on the left, which is the probability of rolling each of these perks on a bag. You can use the lock feature to simulate crafting by locking in perks and observing how the chances of the remaining perks change for the following rolls. Most players consider Luck and Extra Pockets to be the 2 best perks to have on a bag. As such, our focus when crafting legendary bags should be to maximize the probability of crafting bags with both Luck and Extra Pockets. You will notice that Luck only has a 5.26% chance to appear on a bag, while Extra Pockets has a 21.05% chance. So if you are trying to craft a legendary bag with both Luck and Extra Pockets, then you should always force the Luck perk to get the best odds. Now, I know that most veteran players will tell you to always force Extra Pockets, and I have even been called a troll for suggesting forcing Luck on legendary bags. However, I believe this habit is a relic of the past. Players forget that the game is much different now than it was on launch, a time when Azoth was scarce and fast travel cost a lot of it, when items could be moved from one town's storage shed to another and players were forced to load up their inventories and travel by foot to another town to move resources around. In those dark times, Extra Pockets was a necessity, so players would force this perk on every bag without giving it a second thought. But New World is no longer plagued with those problems today, and so Extra Pockets, while useful, isn't necessary. Ironically, on my Fresh Start server, I was selling bags without pockets and just luck for more gold than bags with just pockets and no luck, because everyone was crafting with pockets while I was the only one forcing luck. Having said all of that, I've crafted a total of 200 Tier 5 bags while forcing the Luck perk and kept track of the results with respect to perk distribution. Let's take a close look at the results. Of the 200 bags crafted while forcing Luck, a total of 140 or 70% rolled the Extra Pockets perk. In other words, you can expect on average 7 out of 10 legendary bags to roll both Luck and Extra Pockets when forcing Luck with a perk modifier. Of those 140 bags that rolled Luck and Pockets, I've kept track of every result with respect to the outcome of the 2 remaining perks, as you can see in the table. You should note that I've combined all of the Burden perks into a single entry as they share the same perk label. In fact, if you combine the chance of all 9 of the Burden perks, you will find that the perk label has the same 21.05% chance to appear as Loyalty and Azoth, while Ammo only has a 10.53% chance to appear. Unsurprisingly, the amount of Luck plus Pockets bags that rolled a combination of Burden, Loyalty, and Azoth is much higher than the amount that rolled either of those perks alongside Ammo. Over a large enough sample size, we should expect to see the 3 different combinations of Burden, Loyalty, and Azoth to appear at a similar rate, while we should expect the 3 combinations of the Ammo perks to also appear at a similar rate, although much less frequently than the former group. And that just about covers everything you need to know for crafting legendary bags in New World. If you like this kind of content, be sure to check out my series on crafting legendary tools by clicking on the card below. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks again for watching and happy crafting!